On the morning of January 31st, 1906, at 10:36 a.m. plus 10 seconds, there was the largest underwater earthquake ever recorded at 8.8. It struck off the southwest coast of Colombia, South America, and lasted about 10 minutes. A giant tsunami developed as well and headed for the surrounding coast. The resulting tsunami was centered between Mayque, Colombia, and Rio Verde, Ecuador, and Tumaco is situated between these 2 points. The tsunami was also seen in Costa Rica, Panama, Mexico, California, and Japan. In fact, Father Bernardo Garcia of the Concepcion was stationed about 650 miles away in Panama and gave this report of the scene there. Quote, "Unexpectedly, an enormous wave, we call them tsunamis today, crashed into the port, reached into the market area and destroyed everything. Boats that had been drawn up on the shore were picked up and hurled long distances, causing heavy losses," unquote. All the inhabitants of the village of Tumaco ran to the church and begged the pastor, Father Gerardo Larondo, to lead a procession with the Blessed Sacrament. The sea was rising and had already engulfed part of the beach. It had plunged inland about 1.5 kilometers, which is nearly a mile, and a mountainous wall of water was building up and threatening to drown everyone and everything in one gigantic wave. Father Gerardo consumed the small host in the ciborium and set the large host aside. Father Gerardo and Father Julian decided to confront the sea head-on, armed with the Eucharist. He called out to his people, "Let us go, my people. Let us go forward to the beach, and may God have pity on us." Comforted by the presence of the Eucharistic Christ, they began their march weeping and crying out to God. Scarcely had Father Gerardo reached the beach when he advanced courageously to the water's edge, and as the wave came crashing in, he calmly raised the sacred host and traced the sign of the cross. It was a moment of tremendous solemnity. Incredibly, the wave hesitated, paused, and then backed off. Father Larondo and Father Julian alongside him saw what was transpiring, and the people were overjoyed and cried out, "Miracle! Miracle!" In truth, a force beyond that of nature prevailed. The mighty wall of water that threatened to wipe out the village of Tumaco off the map was halted and began to recede, and the sea resumed its normal level. Prayers of fervent thanks poured out, and the miracle of Tumaco became known across the world. The tsunami caused an estimated 500 to 1,500 deaths, but Tumaco, Colombia, was the only place in the region that was spared loss of life or major damage. From Luke, he replied, "If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mulberry tree, 'Be uprooted and planted in the sea,' and it will obey you." Or from Mark, "And they awoke him and said to him, 'Teacher, do you not care that we are perishing?' And he awoke and rebuked the wind and said to the sea, 'Peace, be still.' And the wind ceased, and there was a great calm. He said to them, 'Why are you so afraid? Have you still no faith?'